Welcome to our in-depth exploration of the Gulf War, a conflict that unfolded in the early 1990s and had far-reaching consequences. In this video, we will delve into the events that led to the war, the key players involved, the military campaigns, the impact on the region, and the lasting legacy of this historic conflict. Join us as we embark on a detailed journey through this pivotal moment in history. To understand the Gulf War, we must first examine the political and historical context of the Middle East. The region has long been characterized by geopolitical rivalries, territorial disputes, and complex sectarian dynamics. In the late 20th century, one of the most significant flashpoints emerged: the rivalry between Iraq, led by Saddam Hussein, and Kuwait, a small but wealthy nation located to the south. Iraq, struggling with a significant debt burden resulting from the Iran-Iraq War, viewed Kuwait as a source of economic relief. Saddam Hussein accused Kuwait of overproducing oil, driving down prices and undermining Iraq's economy. Additionally, he claimed historical territorial rights over Kuwait, which he argued was historically part of Iraq. On August 2, 1990, Iraq launched a full-scale invasion of Kuwait, swiftly overwhelming its defenses. The invasion caught the international community off guard and provoked immediate condemnation. The United Nations Security Council responded swiftly, passing a series of resolutions demanding Iraq's immediate and unconditional withdrawal from Kuwait. In response to the invasion, the United States, under President George H.W. Bush, took a leading role in assembling a broad international coalition to address the crisis. Over 30 countries joined the coalition, including European and Arab nations, with the goal of liberating Kuwait and restoring stability to the region. The coalition forces, led by the United States, swiftly deployed military assets to the region as part of Operation Desert Shield. Troops, aircraft carriers, fighter jets, and armored divisions poured into the area, creating a formidable deterrent against further Iraqi aggression and protecting key regional allies, particularly Saudi Arabia. While diplomatic efforts to resolve the crisis peacefully continued, economic sanctions were imposed on Iraq to increase pressure on Saddam Hussein's regime. The international community sought to isolate Iraq economically, depriving it of resources and leverage. However, diplomatic efforts failed to yield a satisfactory resolution, and military action became inevitable. On January 17, 1991, Operation Desert Storm, the massive aerial bombardment campaign, commenced. Coalition forces launched a sustained and relentless assault on key military targets in Iraq, targeting strategic sites, communication infrastructure, and military installations. The air campaign aimed to weaken Iraq's ability to wage war and degrade its military capabilities. After weeks of intense airstrikes, the coalition forces initiated a ground offensive on February 24, 1991. In a meticulously planned and executed operation, ground troops swiftly advanced into Kuwait, engaging Iraqi forces in fierce battles. The coalition's overwhelming superiority and air superiority played a crucial role in expelling Iraqi troops from Kuwait and liberating the country. The Gulf War officially came to a close on February 28, 1991, with a ceasefire agreement. The coalition forces had achieved the primary objective of liberating Kuwait and halting Saddam Hussein's aggression. The terms of the ceasefire included the establishment of a demilitarized zone along the Iraq-Kuwait border and the implementation of various disarmament measures. While the Gulf War resulted in the liberation of Kuwait, it left a significant impact on the region. Iraq, ravaged by the conflict, faced dire economic conditions and the devastation of its infrastructure. The aftermath of the war also highlighted the deep-seated sectarian tensions and political divisions within Iraq, contributing to the challenges the country would face in the years to come. Geopolitically, the Gulf War marked a turning point in the Middle East. The United States, with its successful leadership in the coalition, emerged as a dominant force in the region. The war underscored the importance of American military capabilities and reinforced the perception of the United States as a global superpower. The legacy of the Gulf War is multifaceted and continues to shape the region today. The presence of international forces in the Middle East, particularly the United States, set the stage for future conflicts and interventions. The consequences of the war and subsequent events would lead to the Iraq War in 2003 and the ongoing instability in the region. In the aftermath of the war, significant efforts were made to address the humanitarian crisis caused by the conflict. Aid organizations worked tirelessly to provide assistance to the affected populations, and efforts were made to rebuild Kuwait's infrastructure. However, the impact of the war and its consequences continued to be felt for years to come. Diplomatically, the Gulf War reinforced the importance of international cooperation in addressing conflicts and maintaining regional stability. It highlighted the role of the United Nations and its ability to mobilize global support for collective security efforts. The Gulf War, while successfully liberating Kuwait, did not bring about a fundamental change in the political landscape of the region. Saddam Hussein remained in power in Iraq, and the unresolved issues between Iraq and its neighbors would continue to simmer, leading to subsequent conflicts and tensions. Today, the repercussions of the Gulf War are still felt in the Middle East. The conflicts, sectarian divisions, and political unrest that followed the war have shaped the region's trajectory, with ongoing challenges in Iraq and the wider Middle East. Thank you for watching.